This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
What's up, you guys? Meezaan, welcome to the show, bud.
How are you?
For the very first time.
Thank you so much.
Sharmin, what's up?
I just got context of where I am right now. With Hrishi K.
I have PCR people everywhere, dude. The guy in the lift says, this girl is just coming up. So I go, yo. He says, she doesn't know who you are. I said, shit, that's a dent to the ego. After 25 years of doing radio, somebody doesn't know you. So he goes, yeah, she was saying I met Malishka at a party, but, this guy, I don't know him. So maybe you do now. Yeah.
No. I got context right now. Hrishi K. Of course I've heard this. Radio. What? Of course this has happened.
So you guys went to college together?
School.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you know each other from way back when?
2011.
Yeah, since I was 17.
2011, yeah.
Was she a lot different back then? Or was she
A lot.
was she like a nerdy, gawky kind of character?
I mean, I personally
sex
feel
kid
she's
we see as
sobered
now?
down now. Before she was a dada.
Are you serious?
Yeah. She was a gangster.
Like she used to kick butt.
Yeah.
She
really.
was like the tomboy.
The guys were scared of her.
Wow. And you can still pull out some of those tricks.
I can.
No, definitely.
Now.
I can. There are definitely people.
Meezaan already crossing his arms.
No, listen, Meezaan is not scared of me, dude. Meezaan used to make fun of me in school.
you
Meezaan
serious?
was one of the people that was not scared of me for sure.
Come on, man. I
I
thought
was-
this would
I
be
was
like a
shocked.
Tiger Shraddha thing. You know the thing about Tiger and Shraddha, right?
No.
So Tiger Shraddha were in the same school, and apparently he was crushing on her for years, and she had no clue. And she was like, "That Tiger Shroff was crushing on me. How did I not know about that?" Nothing like that here.
No.
No.
More
He dated
fear.
my best friend.
Yeah.
Dated.
Now it all comes tumbling out. Best friend had good reports. How's he like boyfriend wise? Is he okay?
Boyfriend wise or boyfriend wise?
Someone to be in a
Boyfriend or
relationship
boyfriend?
with, I guess.
I know
Yeah.
exactly what you mean, but like in a relationship.
I think he's very good in a relationship. Like, there's a certain understanding that Meezaan has when he's in a relationship with somebody. So, like, I think that's a very good thing.
I'm
His
cool.
threshold...
Live and let live.
Live and let live. No, bro. Your threshold for tolerance is really high. So, like,
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Dude, girlfriend's friend approves, which means you've done well for yours.
Yep.
So you guys meet in school,
Yep.
and then you're not very thick. I mean, you're like separated by one girlfriend and friend. Or
No,
were
but
you
that
like
kind
But
of became
no,
really
What
thick.
you don't understand is the girlfriend is out and now ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
But we are still friends.
Yeah.
And the girlfriend was my best friend for like 20 years now at this point. She's been in my life for 20 years. Meezaan's been in my life for 6 years. But the fact that me and her hardly talk and he's still here,
Yeah.
other than work.
I think also
means
because
a lot.
then we started working together and then the friendship became really, really close.
Basically, Meezaan has known me through a lot
Yeah.
of my life in terms of where I grew the most. So he's going to be there for
It's
a
like
while,
what
I
Karan
think.
Johar would call a dynamic.
It's
The
a
dynamic between the two of you is a deep friendship, which is always a good thing, man. You're being thrown into the deep end of the ocean. I mean, you have
And
Sanjay.
how? And how?
She's having a
Yesterday
minor
we were
meltdown.
Yeah.
Yesterday we were on a full Marathi TV show. It was
That's so
amazing to watch, but after a point, you're like trying to pay a lot of attention to understand what they're saying because it's a lot more effort. It's like.
And you're trying to
full
give your
Marathi.
2-3 lines in
And
the
then
middle,
you're
whatever you know.
Mala Marathi, And then
After all of Mangesh, your director's training, that's all you can
my
come up with?
character is not Marathi.
Hers is not Marathi.
Hers is
Yeah,
not, but
yeah.
notwithstanding that great dialogue, which is like a rebuttal to
We
him in
had
the
to teach
training.
Mangesh sir English. We had to make him talk to us in English and Hindi, even for that matter.
So it's a nice one. It was a bit of a give and take,
Yeah,
you know?
It was amazing. Shooting this film with Mangesh sir and Meezaan. It was like having two best friends you go to work with every day. So it was.
So you bring Meezaan for a clothes trial,
Yep.
which means you have seen him.
The rest was history.
I've seen Meezaan more naked on Malaal than I have on while making him try Ranveer Singh's clothes, because one day suddenly out of nowhere I hear banging. We share a vanity, so there's lots of interesting vanity dynamics. So Meezaan has suddenly I hear a tuck on the middle door, and suddenly Meezaan is in a towel. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And then Meezaan has I should know if I should say that on radio. Meezaan has a very perky butt. Okay,
He
so
does?
he does.
That's the first time I've actually heard that from her.
Bro, how can you say this?
I mean,
Your
I work
pants are
towards
so
it.
tight for
There's
you.
no way you're having a relationship with this one here. If she's commenting like that.
If he has a No, he was in his towel and he's posing. So
I wasn't posing. It's
the
just me
perks of the
standing.
party.
Yeah, the perks.
I'll tell you why he came to my vanity to take a balti from that side
Dude,
of
you
the
guys
door.
are hilarious. Where were you all these
He was
years?
running with in his towel, holding a balti. I'm like, Meezaan, wait, went to take a picture of it. Meezaan has stuck his butt out like that.
How
So-
Sanjay, Leela, Bhansali, Savaria, dude.
I'm inspired. I'm clearly inspired.
He just didn't drop the towel.
I just didn't open it or
God,
drop
he
it.
didn't drop the towel.
So you bring him in. This is Bajirao Mastani, where you are getting your butt kicked as costume director,
I'm getting my
and all this thing about fancy stuff of, do you work in a Bhansali movie? We know that backstage is tough work, dude. And you were at the time on a vacation.
Yeah,
In New York, he was on a vacation. He will say he went to film school, but
What? No, that time I was studying business.
and you say you studied a lot
One
in
sec.
business school.
I
You
tried.
quit business school,
Yeah.
and then you got into acting school.
No, then I went to filmmaking school, so I was doing directing
So how
and
did
editing.
JJ take to this?
JJ is the one actually, my dad, who said that you should don't learn acting because that's not something you can learn. So I want you to go do filmmaking as a craft if you really want to get into filmmaking. So do direction, editing, cinematography because it's a craft that you can fall back upon tomorrow, whatever you want to do. And by then we had got the offer from Sanjay sir later on, and then we knew what we were doing. And and then I was just studying direction, editing, and I
This is
studied.
what, New York.
Yeah, this was in New York in School of Visual Arts, and I studied for 2 years. The course was actually for 4 years, and then I left and I came back halfway through because I decided that this opportunity is not going to come again, and I had to grab it because it was a golden opportunity, and I knew that sir was starting Padmavat, Sanjay sir, and I started working with him on Padmavat.
So you do what? 2 years of the filmmaking course.
Yeah.
Business admin. You dropped
year.
out after 1 year.
Yeah,
So you're a bit of you have a bit of all those skill sets.
yeah.
You can fit into either class if you were to go back.
Yeah, but like jack of all, but I'm trying to become master of one. So
Because you're going to be damn good at your chosen career, bro.
Thank you.
Everybody's saying that about you.
Thank you.
All the best in all seriousness. And you, my dear, you went abroad to study.
I went to
study acting.
Yes, but you can't learn acting. He's right. I skipped a
Where
lot
was
of
this?
class. It was so I AD'd on Marycom, then I AD'd on Bajirao Mastani, then I went to acting
Oh
school.
my God, you
Because
have been through many traumas.
so it was for me. Listen, for me Bajirao wasn't traumatic. Like honestly, it was traumatic because there was so much work, but it wasn't a traumatic experience. It was actually the best learning experience of my life. School like thrown out the window, bro. At the end of it, so. There was Marycom, there's Bajirao Mastani, and then acting school. I was like, there's no point in going to acting school in the beginning because what are you going there to learn? You can't learn acting. You need to know what you need, and then somewhere in the middle, try and figure out at acting school, where I hardly attended class, was what do you need to take out from yourself, or what skill set do you possess that you can use is where you
I personally think that's smarter and better
because
you
you
know
understand
then you know what to do with that craft later on, and even when
Exactly.
you're learning, you know what
you're
taking
learning
in,
for.
yeah, and like how to adapt it into your own,
Exactly.
craft.
that.
Did you go to
So I
Strasbourg?
went to Strasbourg.
Well, Ranbir Kapoor went to Strasbourg.
When we went to New York, I went
Ranbir
to
Kapoor actually, the funny
weather
thing
was a
is,
lot
He
better.
doesn't think very highly of it.
he's the
No,
one.
He told me.
that's
He's
just-
saying, bro, it's like
But
very okay.
but that's it. You can't learn, especially film acting. You can't learn it sitting in a school because
Right.
you have to act in action and cut. Matlab, it's very different for him to pull out an emotion and how he does it between action and cut than it'll be for me because you need to re-pull it out after in a second take and then in a third take and then in another shot and then in another shot and then maybe if you're working on a Sanjay Bhansali film for like 5 days, you'll be pulling out the same
He's trying to
emotion.
get a word in by the way.
Yeah, so I think
When I was
That's
trying to get a
always the
word in
case.
when he was going on about business school, I kept my mouth shut.
what? No, she talks much more than me. But
Well,
anyway,
I
the
know
point
faster
is.
than
boy, you didn't interrupt.
Yeah. So,
Why did I
thank you.
interrupt?
So, Ranbir actually is the one who recommended School of Visual Arts to me, and that's why when I applied to that school. So, he actually did a few years in School of Visual Arts, and then he went and did Strasbourg. So, he's done.
The other guy I know who went to Strasbourg was Cyrus Brocha, who he must have made sure that the other people in the class ran away. but yeah, there are mixed things you get about Strasbourg and the method acting thing and things
See,
like that.
there is no such. I don't believe that method
don't think
acting
so?
is one thing. I think that it will apply differently to each people. Again, everybody experiences emotions individually. You can't say that we experience love or we experience anger or we experience sadness the same way. It's not possible. So there's not one technique to reach that sadness. you might reach it in a different way and I might reach it in a different way.
So you got no special privileges for being Bela's daughter. You were treated like any other assistant on set and
Yeah.
probably even stricter.
So maybe not. So I was handling my own department. I wasn't on set when they were setting up shots, and also when like Sir is in his full form, I was actually getting Priyanka Chopra ready or like getting Ranveer Singh ready, but like still getting approvals and stuff. But no, I got yelled at once or twice. But in a very like, it was my fault. So I just took it quietly and
And what kind of a mamu was he, or is he? I mean, is he now? He's indulgent, obviously, because you're his child, both of you. But as a kid, what are your earliest memories of him?
So for us, I feel like Mama's like, for him, from now I'm gonna call him Mama. But Mama's thing is, we were like his children because he doesn't have children, right? So like for him, me and my sister are like his children. So when we were 4 years old, he used to take us to like SL World and stuff. There's a series of pictures of Sir holding me and like making all these faces, and I'm just crying. So like it was like those are pictures from SL World. He was very loving towards me and my sister. At least I think me and him have a really good equation, and it's developed because I assisted on Bajirao Mastani. Because he understood me as a teenager, which he had no idea how to handle a teenager or an interpretation of what a teenager is like zero. And now he understands. Now he knows that she's in a little bit of a bad mood today. So like, you know how people are around him when he says, Sanjay sab bure mood mein hai, nahi jayenge paas mein. He's like that with me now. He knows when to be sensitive with me, when to be strict with me, when to be like caring with me, that's how work has affected our personal life, our personal equation on some level.
So do you have that buddy thing with your dad, or is it there's always this thing in the back of your mind saying, oh my God, he's my dad? What is that relationship?
I feel it's more serious when it comes to dad because there's always been that respect and fear. It's like a thin line in between. So we've always been scared of him at home because he's very serious in real life. He is actually. He's very quiet, very serious. But the friendly relationship was more with my mother and my grandfather and the rest of the family than with my dad. But now
Chachu is a party animal. Back in the day, I remember Behel and him used to be at Club 9 on Pali Hill, and JJ would always be home because he's disciplined and things like that.
Right.
Your Chachu was quite a fun kind of guy.
Right.
Do you have that vibe with him?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think after the age of 18, or when I slowly started going out to clubs and partying as well, I think we became closer, and I started going out more with him, and then he started taking me out. So it takes time for someone to get to that age or that level where you can sort of communicate with them. I have a brother who's 16 right now, but there's an 8-year gap, and I'm waiting for him to come to a certain age where I can take him out and he can get more involved in my lifestyle. So I think it's just that you have to wait it out, and and today I understand my father much more than I did before. After the age of 18, I started taking him as a friend. And now I'm in my 20s, so that friendly relationship is getting more and more better.
What is he on? I mean, I see that the version of Aila Ray that the two of you have done. Yeah. Man, he's drinking out of the fountain of youth. He's just turning back the clock. Don't you agree?
Yeah. I wasn't interrupting.
Sweet. Listen, you're getting damn emo now.
No, I interrupted in my own brain. I was like, abs.
You're thinking, woman, abs. Wow.
Javed uncle, abs? No, Meezaan's abs. Like, oops,
so
I can't see that.
Whose idea was that? Was that T-Series' idea? Was it his idea?
To do the video?
Yeah.
To do the video was
Sanjay's idea.
Sanjay's idea and the production's idea.
Was?
Dad. There was a person from Ganesh Acharya's side as well, but mainly it was just Dad doing improv stuff, and he said, I'll show my abs, and then you'd be like, stop, it's my song, why are you trying to take over? And yeah, it was the first time actually I danced with my dad, and to dance with a Javed Jaffrey, it becomes difficult to try and keep up, but we had a great time.
And damn girl, you're looking so hot in that Nawari sari. Nawari sari.
Thanks, yeah. It was so hard to pee, man.
Now, those are the practical things.
Hard.
They will never tell. They'll always say, oh, actress, wow, glamour, this, that. The practical details.
You have to bend your body in ways and then try and pee. It's like, man.
So, who helped you tie it? And
I thought you would say, who helped you pee?
Yeah. Too much
There was
information, but Sharmin.
I've put
But the lady, didn't she teach you how to
So
do
Asha Tai, her name, we call her Au. Okay, she's like the funniest person on this planet. Like, she looked at me on Bajirao Mastani, and we used to like, she's like 75, 76 years old. And she's like, her husband was a Marathi like theatre like director, and she was an actress, so she used to keep telling her stories about her life. And she was like, "Eh, Sarmali, teri picture mein main tere ko sari pehnayegi." And I was like, "Aao, main apni pehli picture mein sari kahan pehnungi?" She's like, "Chupet, ye le peanuts kha main tere train se lai." Because she comes all the way from Titwala. This woman, this old woman, comes from Titwala to Film City, and she did it for 190 days for Bajirao Mastani every day with like ridiculous call times. And then she did it for our film also, which I was very happy about. It turned out that I was wearing a sari, a Nawari sari. I thought मैं साधारण साड़ी नहीं पहन पाऊंगी. I'm wearing a Nawari sari in my first film. So I hope she says that I become a really big superstar. Hopefully that will also come true. Everything she says will start coming true. Just get her to say things for me.
And fantastic songs. I mean, both
Sanjay
Ailare as well.
sir.
Udhar. Yeah, you got it.
Less bass. Be more Marathi and patla with your voice.
Oh, you people are now going to coach me in Marathi after how well you have done.
Listen, watch us on Chala Hawaii.
See a show and you'll know.
You'll know.
We've actually done
You'll
quite
just
well.
see us and be like, Marathi picture kar rahe. So I was like a bit like...
But you actually are playing a Marathi Manus, and you've done very well. I mean, in terms of the look and this and that.
Thank you.
You obviously hung out a lot. You have friends.
A lot.
Yeah.
I thought I was Marathi in the middle of it. You know, I had forgotten my own culture, my values, everything, and I just got stuck with
Meezaan's
how people
Hindi
behaved in the
became
chol.
so
My Hindi became
bad, man.
from like proper and Shuddh. My dad speaks really well, so that just went for a toss. And at home, I was talking to people as if I was some hooligan from the road, and my dad was like, "Hey, what is this?" And he was like, "Behave yourself." And I said, "Dad, I'm in character right now." He's like, "Don't give me this shit." So I don't give me this.
JJ would say, "Inshallah, iski zuban sudhar denge, kya kar raha hai?"
Yeah.
Something like that. So your fondest memory from Boogie Woogie, dude.
Oh,
I mean, that is lit. That stuff is the bomb.
I was in the title song as well.
Are you
There was a
serious?
2-year-old Meezaan in the main title song of Boogie Woogie. If you look it up, I'll send it to you. But I grew up watching it. The show went on for 17 years, and it started when I was 2 years old. But
Stop. Do the boo. What was the thing? We have got that on camera. Sorry. So it started when?
Yeah, it started when I was 2 years old in '97, and it went on for 17 years. But it was a blast, and I literally grew up, and whatever I learned from dancing was from that show. Whether it was dad talking, Chachu talking, Ravi talking, everyone just giving their advice to other dancers and looking at all the talent that we have in this country, which people really didn't expect. Looking at the mothers dancing, the fathers dancing, the children dancing, and it was just amazing. And yeah.
And your Dadu is what, 85 now? How old is he? 80?
No, he must be 76 plus, yeah, for sure.
And he must be the youngest 76-year-old you know.
Probably.
He's so cool, dude.
Yeah.
He's the Sorma Bapale.
He's really, like I said, I have a very friendly relationship with him because his ideology towards life is also like live and let live. And he's extremely chilled out, a fun guy, and he'll never stop you from doing anything. And like how all grandparents are, they spoil you. So he's always spoiled me as a kid, and he's always taken us out and made us have a great time. But he's a great guy.
Grandparents are always more progressive than parents. I've realized that.
Because they have more perspective, I think.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. So is there only films at home? I mean, considering your mom edits,
There are only
directs,
films at home. So when I looked
so
at my mother,
conversations are all just movies, yeah?
all movies, everybody. There's not one single person that's not like involved in film. Even my bua that passed away was into cinematography. She was also an FTI with Sanjay sir, mom, dad. Dadi was an actress. Dada was a director. So, Nani was a choreographer.
What is this crap about nepotism? Halwai ka beta ya halwai ki beti halwai nahi banegi to aur kya banegi?
Exactly.
Listen.
There's no nepotism.
Yeah, there's no
It's there,
nepotism,
it's
yeah.
No,
generations.
nepotism is there.
Nothing.
It's a word. It's what the word means. That's about it.
Super. No, I'm all for the fact that generations have been in the business and it's there in your genes. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to go out there and express it.
You have to also work on some level. There's a level of hard work that like will my dad always said to me once. He was like, success is equal to talent divided by hard work with a coefficient of luck. So
Smart man.
he was like,
What line of work is he
Too
in?
much math for me.
he used to head Star Plus at one point. Now he's with Applause Entertainment. So he's also into like production. He's more on the approving script
his name?
side.
What's his name?
Deepak Segal.
Deepak Segal, hello. if you're listening to me, I naturally presume everybody's listening to me. So I just say,
Yeah.
big shout out, bro.
He's probably listening. But yeah, so talent divided by hard work. So talent is something that you said, genes. It's what comes down to you. But it'll get, whatever your genes are will get divided by the amount of hard work you put in. And then luck is not something you can control. So like that for me is what success has been.
She's an old friend. She's a school friend. What about the item girl in the song?
Oh, it was
She's hot, dude.
yeah, she is hot. Of
damn
course
hot.
she is. She is, she was in Miss India, Miss World,
What's her
and
name?
Sushri.
Sushri. Wow.
Sushri Shreya Mishra
Oh,
is her name.
stomach.
And Sushri is extremely
Washboard?
fit.
Washboard?
Yeah,
No,
washboard.
not even wash. It's just like voluptuously hot.
Ew.
Like I'm
You're talking
flat.
about his stomach, right?
Yeah.
What do you think you're talking
What?
about?
Yeah. What?
Just because she held your
Dirty
belt?
mind.
Just because she held your belt and you didn't let the hand go down. So,
But
tell me about her.
no, we had a great time, and she's an amazing dancer. And I met her during the rehearsals, and I was like, "Who's this girl? She's pretty, she's hot, and she
this
dances really well." But we had a great time on set, and it's really important to have someone who, when you're dancing with, someone you can keep up with, and someone who also keeps up with you. And who someone understands you while dancing. So they should be willing to. I feel like when you're on set and dancing, especially, you should be willing to give that 100%. And if someone even wants like 50 to 100 takes, you should be willing to do it without cribbing. And she really gave it everything, I feel, in the song, and we both had a blast while doing it. And I'll always remember the song because it was my first song, But I'm really happy I got to do it with Ganesh Acharya as the choreographer.
Hang out
And
with a single boy. Go out, do some coffee.
no, we talk.
Meanwhile, are you feeling cold?
Yes,
It's
she has
room
been for the
temperature,
past
man.
All
10
radio
minutes.
stations are cold. You've been to one thus far. All radio stations are cold because the gear has to stay cool
the
24
RJs
hours a
are not.
day.
Oh man. I'm the person
They,
that
they
feels
make up for the balance. Yeah.
What do you most love about PC?
What do I
Because
most
I,
love-
I love PC. Man.
What do I?
love Priyanka Chopra.
There's a lot of things, dude. Her confidence and also her kamar. Sorry, I have a very like.
No, but I mean, you hung with her so much. I mean, there must be learnings. You just pick up stuff.
There's a school of learnings with Sanjay sir and PC in your life. There's people that will give you gyan from morning to night. Like they just keep talking to you if you need them to, and that's how like they've been supportive also in that like department. She's told me your nepotism answer. That ganda nepotism feeling that got created in me because of what people used to keep saying. I used to keep questioning, do I deserve this? Do I deserve this? Am I exploiting my relationship with Sanjay, Leela, Bhansali? All those things, PC calmed me down. Because I looked at her and I was like, PC, I feel so weird that I get to sit in Priyanka Chopra's house and have this conversation with you. Like, sometimes it becomes difficult to make that distinction. Same as with Sanjay sir. Mama, Sanjay sir. Horribly confusing distinction to make. So she looked at me and she was like, Sharmin, when life gives you something, you take it and you make it much more. Don't put yourself down and then reach somewhere in the middle and say you're not content with life. Varna zindagi bhar tumhare dil mein malaal reh jayega. So I was like, okay then.
That's your PC quotient for the day.
I was like, yeah.
So, Shiva More, what is he like?
Shiva More is loud. He's rude, but he
He's
is
Sharmin.
not. He's not a practical thinker. And he just does whatever comes to his mind. He has no respect for others. It can be an older person, but I think the strongest quality of Shiva, which also attracts Astha towards him, I feel in a way, is that he is fearless. He is extremely fearless. He does not care about anyone. He will do whatever he wants, and he has his own voice, and he has his very weird, quirky ways of doing things. It can be his walk, it can be the way he talks, it can be randomly he'll say the weirdest of things. And I think that's what really will surprise the audience as well, and they'll enjoy it.
What is Astha like? I mean, I see immense love when she's looking at him and things like that. But she also seems like a very ballsy chick.
So you got the good scene in the trailer, dude. In terms of dialogue for Astha, like that's the one where she really like lets him have it. But For me, Shiva and Astha are both like one person. They become one person by the end of the movie for me, because what Astha lacks, Shiva gives Astha. And what Shiva lacks, Astha gives Shiva. And for me, that's what makes Astha change as a person. Like, that's how love affected her. She started smiling, she started laughing. The fearlessness that he's talking about, her inability to talk to her family. Throughout the first half, you notice that she doesn't vocalize what she's feeling. As soon as she starts falling in love with him, there's this sudden like vocal quality that comes in her. And with him it's ulta. He's so fearless that he sometimes doesn't care about how what he's saying is affecting the people around him. But when he sees her, like, he cares about her a lot more than he'd care about anybody else. And somewhere you see that also help him like stem from his equation with his mother, help him evolve his equation with his father, be more caring towards his father, and maybe reflect on what his father might need or want from him or expect from him. So I guess that...
Beautifully put. Okay, last few questions before we wrap. We're doing a campaign called Run with Radio 1. What kind of cardio do you do? Are you a treadmill kind of person? Do you run outside on the beach, wherever? What's your running routine?
I actually used to prefer running outside, but now I've gotten used to the treadmill and I'm really hooked onto it. And I do these 20-second sprints, and then I hop off the treadmill for a minute and try and bring the heart rate back down, and then I hop on again. And I do these for like 10 to 12 rounds, and it's a HIIT circuit, which is high intensity interval training. But yeah.
And barefoot like Milind Soman, or do you...
No, I wear shoes.
I remember once he stepped out of the vanity during Bajirao Mastani without shoes, and I had no idea that he was the kind of person that doesn't wear shoes. It was really awkward for a bit. I was like, your shoes. And
No,
he
that's
just
how
walked.
he
That same
And he
set,
just
that same
serenely-
set, I had gone to... He had called me to his vanity because he couldn't come to the studio to do an interview. I was doing some interview with him. And I reached there before him, and he came running. So I asked him,
What
"Came
are you
running?"
saying?
He said, I told the unit car to leave me at the beginning of Film City, and he ran in from
my
there.
God.
But that's like a minimum distance for him. Dude.
Yeah.
You know, he runs
Yeah,
like across
absolutely,
cities.
It is a very minimum.
Yeah. So yeah, the running thing. What do you do?
Where do I
What's
run?
your cardio routine? Run. with
I
radio.
don't run.
Walk.
I don't.
Pilates. There must be some
Pilates.
cardio. What do you do for
Pilates.
cardio?
Pilates, which is not that much high intensity cardio, but like, yeah, it still gets my heart rate up because I don't exercise that much. I do, but
You
I
don't? So you have great metabolism.
I think I did exercise for a very long period of my time, and then once I got into like acting, it became... I haven't yet figured out how I am as an actor and where my personal life stands in the middle of all of that. I used to say, मैं सुबह में उठ के gym जाऊंगी, कुछ नहीं हुआ shooting के time पे. Hopefully, ugly picture में I'll be able to pace it out better.
When is the ugly picture? You've signed on already? After this.
I plan to do, but that's my own personal planning.
So Afroz Shah is cleaning Warsaw Beach of all the plastic, and we realized Afroz Shah is this great guy. He's now a UN ambassador.
Okay.
Afroz Shah.
Afro's Shah.
So he and his team clean Warsaw Beach. They pull out plastic from it. So we're asking everybody, what are you doing to save the planet? What happens in the Jaffrey household? What happens in the Segal household to save the planet? What do you do?
I think, obviously along with the city as well, we've stopped using plastic and everyone's using paper now or any other material that comes in handy. But I think there's a bare minimum to plastic right now. I won't lie that, yes, there are a few things which are still there, which have plastic in them, but we're trying to get rid of it as much as possible. And I think that really makes a big difference. Plastic is really causing problems nowadays. So and also not letting taps run and trying to use as minimum water as possible, whether it's when you're taking a shower. It can be like something as minuscule as while you're shampooing your hair, put the tap off. While you're brushing your teeth, put the tap off and just use it when you need to. So just doing those things.
Yeah.
Electricity. I shut my lights, and also we have my dad actually is very particular about this, dividing our trash. It's a very
Wet
and dry. Yeah, mainly also like recyclable, and like he basically divides all of it. And if I ever throw like food in the containers ka thing, he'll get really mad at me, like to the point where he will come at like 7 o'clock in the morning when he wakes up and he'll be like, why are you doing this?
Talk about your solar panels.
Oh yeah, and I have solar panels on my terrace.
They have
I
major
forgot.
solar panels
Yeah,
on
we
their
have and we also give back to the grid. Like that's the... So we've installed solar panels, and then the solar panels, we keep some of the energy, and I think half of it goes back to the grid. Or something.
Segals, Jaffrey is well done, saving the
No,
planet,
listen, my
yo.
dad got cut on the head with the solar panel because my father is the type to go and clean the solar panels on his own. He can't slit his head open, dude.
A travel experience that you can't get over. You went to a destination and said, wow, this is amazing.
New York every time I go because I studied there and I met a lot of people there and just my close friends today who are really close to me I've met over there. So New York for me.
The people, the vibe, everything.
Everything.
Japan.
You went during cherry blossom season?
I've gone twice actually. Once when we were 12 years old, our parents packed us off on a camping trip to Japan. So we have gone canoeing, whitewater rafting, we've done Japanese tea ceremonies. And then once my mother took me on a spiritual trip to Japan where we've gone to a shrine, like a person that or a thing that she believes in. So we've roamed around like parts of Japan.
She does Namyo Rengekyo.
No, it isn't. It's called Mahikari. It's called Sukyo Mahikari. They have a center in Dadar and Kandivali.
Last question. What is your favorite decade and why? You can choose the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s or even the current decade. Anything, music, fashion. Whatever.
I think it's the 70s and 80s because of the lifestyle and also the music. Definitely.
What were you listening to back then?
Whether it was
from back then, sorry.
Yeah,
from
whether it was Elvis or ABBA came much later, but that whole phase of till date, even the whole rock phase, like now it's come to EDM and then we moved on to rap now, but the whole rock phase for me is mainly what I'm attracted to, and that's what I listen to as well, but Springsteen and all also came much later, but the Beatles, 80s.
20-something boy, you're listening to all this?
Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
Fleetwood
Retro,
Mac,
man. Retro is it.
Girl, that's what I listen
Now I know what is playing in the Jaffrey household.
to. Because of that, it
records
causes
and Bandra Boy.
Yeah, Bandra Boy. Absolutely.
And what is that, the Mary Jung song, dude?
Bol baby, bol.
Oh, baby, bol. That was it. That was dope. That was dope, man. Favorite decade and why?
1990 to like 2000 because of like chick flicks.
Yeah?
Lots of chick flicks released during 1990.
Even I love chick flicks.
Yeah, dude, lots of chick flicks
Like
released
what?
during
Like,
1990.
the top ones would be.
I think Clueless released around that time.
Mean
And
Girls is my favorite.
Mean Girls released around that
My
time.
favorite.
And also I feel like Indian cinema also evolved during that time. So I made Devdas during 2000, which was
Yeah.
good. So yeah, I feel like we also, I don't know where we've gone since then, but hopefully.
Listen, guys, you guys are thoroughly entertaining. I had a wonderful time.
Thank
You cracked me up.
Thanks, Hrishi
And
K.
you know you're not going to have a better interview than this.
Listen, you need to start telling people your name is Hrishi
Just
K,
say,
not
my full name is Hrishikesh Kannan. I'm a
Both
Madrasi
of us,
man.
I understood that,
So,
but when
It's all, the cool is Hrishi K, but underlying it, all that is just Hrishikesh
fair
Kannan.
enough, but like, and at least I've known who you were, and not said I know Malishka and not Hrishi K. But when
Somebody
I
in the
know,
lift told me, see?
I want to know who in the lift told you. बुलाओ उस आदमी को मेरे सामने.
Listen, all the best. I can't wait to watch you
Thank
guys.
you.
Yeah?
Thank you so
Thank
much. Thank you for
you.
having us.